999,904. 999,900. Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you there. Just getting in my my hourly workout. I do this every hour. 100,000 ones. Oh, it's pretty big. The zero. They got rid of the 2 zeros on here accidentally. That's actually 500 pounds. No big deal though. Just getting my morning pump. I'm just trying to work really hard so I can, get enough Instagram followers so I can finally get my life goal of getting sponsored. I'm thinking some detox tea to get all of the tox out of me. They're gonna de that tox, so the tox will be deed, and then it'll be out of me. It's pretty cool. And then some leggings. You guys can see my leggings are a little old, a little flabby. Can't really show off the booty with these kind of ones. So that's why I'm doing arm stuff, because that makes sense. Yeah, all right, that totally made sense, and I feel like a very intelligent human being. So let's go and do the gather step. Does it look like I'm running away? Oh, you're still here. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. All right, beautiful people. We are today going to be doing the gather step. There are a lot of different names for this thing. The gather step, split step. There's just a bajillion different ones. Those are the two that I hear most common. I like gather step. That's what we call it here at Firestorm. And today we're going to be showing you what it is. Now, let's say I want to do a Kong vault, which will be next week's tutorial. Oh yeah! But let's say I want to do a Kong vault over this object. Now, for a lot of people, if you start in a gymnastics gym with a spring floor like this, you may go and try to do this thing from a punch. A punch is just where I take off of both feet together. So a lot of people would run in, punch, and do their Kong vault. All right, not bad. The problem becomes when you go outside and you train outside, which is the real goal here. We want to be able to utilize these skills whenever we want, wherever we want, despite what the ground and the objects are made out of. It won't always be a nice soft spring floor. It won't always be a foam block. This is just for training and learning, because like with anything in life, as we learn, we're going to make mistakes, we are going to fall on our face, and we'd like to be as safe as we can. But once we move out of this area, if you run and you punch with your feet on the concrete, you are going to have a bad day. You are going to bruise your feet and you are going to be unhappy. So the question becomes, how do I take my running energy and turn it into a jump? I mean, if I run and suddenly I step and bring my feet together, my feet are going to stop, but the momentum of my upper body is going to keep going. Now I'm at this weird angle and I'm going to jump and I'm going to slam into the object. It's not going to be any good. I don't want to run and punch like we just talked about because, ow. Now, for some of our vaults we're going to be learning, I run from our strides from a couple weeks ago, and when I do my strides, I'm running off 1 foot. Now that's nice and easy. We all know how to run, how to swing our knees, how to jump off 1 foot. But if I'm doing something like a Kong vault, I do not want to be striding and jump off 1 foot. It is doable, but it becomes more difficult. So the question becomes, if I can't run and punch, if I don't want to run and then bring my feet together and lose all my momentum and make it all wonky, and I don't want to jump off 1 foot, what can I do to be able to take my forward running energy and change it into a jumping up and forward takeoff position that'll give me plenty of power and not kind of mess with my body position or screw up my body mechanics as I vault over an object. Now, what we're going to show, the gather step or the split step, right here, does not necessarily have to be done for all of these vaults. You can use it for all kinds of things. For jumps, you can change it up in your precisions to land like this. There's a lot of different ways it can be used. So we're going to show it to you guys today. We're going to demonstrate it with vaulting for today, and then we're going to be using it in a lot of different things we're going to be bringing together into the future for the rest of this level 2 or orange rank parkour curriculum. All right, guys, let's put 60 seconds on the clock and begin our 60-second breakdown for the gather step, also known as the split step, a couple other names, but those are the ones we're going to focus on today. All right, with our gather step, this is the way of taking our stride and our punch and combining them together. So you can get the forward distance of your stride and the powerful explosive takeoff of your punch, but you can do it on something like concrete so you're not going to hurt your feet. So a gather step is where I jump off of 2 feet that are split, 1 foot in front of the other, close enough together that I can jump and explode off both feet at the same time. When I do this, I'm usually striding into my gather step. As I take my last stride, whatever distance is between my feet on those 2 strides, is going to be about 1 1/4, 1 1/3 distance into my gather step. So when I land, it's a quick 1, 2 with my feet close together, big arm swing, and I'm exploding from the arm swing and both feet at the same time. So when I come in, you can see my strides right here. Stride, 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 bigger. Big explosive gather step out, jumping off both feet simultaneously. We don't want the feet so close together it's a punch, and we don't want them so far apart that it becomes just another stride. We want them close enough to be able to land 1, 2, rolling that energy and exploding off simultaneously. And that is a gather step. So let's take a look at a gather step real quick. When I do a gather step, I want you guys to focus on my feet as I jump off the ground here. A gather step is taking my stride, my running energy, and allowing me to take it, because with those strides, I'm going mostly straight forward, sometimes a little bit up, but not a lot up. This block is 3 feet tall. I need to get some height off this thing. So what I'm going to be doing is, as I come in, I'm going to do this thing, the gather step. It looks a little like this. All right, all I'm doing here is bringing my feet close together like I'm going to do a punch. But instead of punching, boom, and hitting the ground hard, which I do not want to do, especially once I get to concrete, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that stride, I'm going to step off 1 foot. My other foot then, instead of coming together like a step together, is going to go a little bit in front so my feet are split or staggered right here. All right? And when I do this, the goal is that my feet are close enough together that if I decide to jump, you can see I can jump off of both feet at the same time. If I make these too big, I can't jump off both because this one will leave the ground long before this one. All this is allowing me to do is to get my feet close together to jump, much like a punch. But I don't want them landing at the same time because that stalls my feet and causes my upper body to fall forward. So as I come in right here, we're just going to watch my feet real quick. I'm striding in. It's 1, 2, really close. Notice where my arms are. I'm getting myself prepped for a big circle. Now, there's a lot of different ways to do this. Some people will just come in, 1, 2, and swing the arms from backwards to forwards. Totally fine. All right? There's a lot of different arm placements you can do. I like to do what I call the eagle approach. All right? Distance equals power. If my arms are back here and I swing them forward, I've gone 90 degrees. Maybe another 45, I've got about 135 degrees of swing right there. Now, if, as I come into my gather step, as I take my 2 steps, 1, 2, I'm swinging my arms to the side. They're coming from in front of me, to the side, behind me, and then doing that. I'm going to get a whole 360 degrees of swing, almost 3 times as much power to jump off these feet with. It is important we have a solid arm swing with our gather step. So as I come in again, it's a quick 1, transferring forward to 2, and I'm going to explode with the arm swing and the jump off both feet at the same time. This one, for most people, it seems like such a small thing and like it'd be very simple. It is really awkward in the beginning. It takes a lot of time, much like a handstand or something, to find your coordination, your balance, and the distance for your feet. The faster I am running, the further my split step will be apart. If I want to go higher and less forward, the closer together my gather step or split step will be. All right, if I want to lean forward more, it's going to be a bit more pronounced and a bit more distance in between. When you do this, remember our goal, off the toes and finish the arm swing simultaneously. A good way to do that is to practice with your feet in different positions, different split distances, and swing and jump. Same thing here, swing and jump. What I want you to also try to do, you will have your half cat from our white rank walls parkour curriculum. I can grab something like this, an object about this high, and what I can do is I can practice standing right here with my split step. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing those arms, jump off both feet, and come into my object. This will allow me to start jumping forward as I do this. Then I can notice, man, that is hard to do when my feet are really close, so maybe a little bit bigger stagger. And I can practice jumping forward to see what it would be like if I'm actually jumping off of an object or vaulting to an object with that forward momentum. The last big thing I want to talk about on this one is that when we do this, it is important to understand the difference in the distance of each stride, especially the last one leading up to our gather step. So let's say we're running along, right? Stride, stride, stride. Every foot that I take, every step during my strides, is pretty much equidistant from one foot to the next foot. It is not going to be equidistant from my last stride to the landing position of my gather step. And I'll demonstrate real quick. We'll grab a couple of these bad boys. All right. Let's try. Yeah. 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 Now these are all fairly equidistant right now. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to stride the first three of these. The last one, you can see, is the same distance right here. But here's where I'm going to do a gather step. I want you to notice the difference between the landing position of all of my strides, the distance from one to the next, and the distance between my last stride and my gather step. So as I come along, right, left, right, gather. As I come in, it's boom, boom, boom. Did you guys notice where my feet were? They were in front of this red guy. Okay? They did not land the same distance forward. The reason for that is if I land a stride, I would normally be here in this position. If I suddenly bring this foot down, I'm now in this really awkward position with my butt behind me, all my weight's on this foot, but now I've got this guy. It is hard to do that. So what's going to be happening is our very last step from our last stride into our gather step will be about 25 to 30% bigger, a little bit longer. What that does is allow us to get in that position for both feet, locked down, bent legs, arms behind us, and take that extra momentum to explode out of there with. This is kind of like when you run up a wall. You do not run full speed into the wall and then go up it. You jog in and you accelerate right as you're getting to the wall to get that explosive pop. Right here on our last stride, we are accelerating and popping with more speed out of that last stride, so we get a longer distance, so we're in a very powerful position with a lot of momentum and energy to explode out of with our gather step into our vault, our jump, our stride, our cat, whatever we're going to be doing. Again, I want to remind you guys, this one is really awkward in the beginning. This is a thing that people have a lot of trouble with because it's timing and momentum and body position and distance and balance all kind of crammed together. But once you get this down, this will allow you to produce power. And by changing the distance of your feet, the position of your chest, you will be able to utilize this to take running energy and shoot it very high up, very far forward, or like most people when they're vaulting, at more of a diagonal. Take your time, give yourself a lot of practice. One thing that I like to do is just walk, okay, and then pop, gather step. Woo! Makes me feel cool, jump high, have to be careful. I don't want to Sean Budge myself on this bar. That's an inside joke for our newest coach, for anybody who happens to go here and watched him pretty much gather step his way off of a wall, face first into a bar. It was funny. Probably should continue from there saying something nice and not just stop at it was funny. Still love you, Sean, but that was pretty funny, man. All right, so as we do this, a great thing again, don't come in with so much power, don't run, just walk. And remember on my last step right here, I'm pushing forward, explode, 1, 2, I'm right here ready, explode up and out. The last thing I want to leave you guys with is do not just practice this on your strong side. I'm a righty, so when I gather step, I like to go, when I'm doing a big power like a double Kong or a cash or something, I go left foot behind, right foot in front. So when I'm finally pushing off right here, it is off my power leg. I feel more comfortable here. The problem for most people is they only practice on their comfortable side. We are ambidextrous class. We need to be doing this on both sides because sometimes when you are striding up to an object, you don't always arrive. You have a 50% chance of arriving on the side that you want to be on. If you land and all of a sudden your gather step's on your opposite side and you do not know how to utilize that to produce power, well, it's like getting a flat tire and you will crash in that object. And that is hilarious, but not what we are shooting for. So please take your time, practice both sides of your body, try walking into it, striding into it, lower, then with more power, and then as you feel comfortable, we're going to take that bad boy right there, right? And we're gonna explode out of it, utilizing that power and that takeoff technique into our actual skills on our walls, bars, and vaults. All right, guys, that has been the gather step. It is a much more technical skill than a lot of the ones we've been doing, so take your time and practice it. I love all your beautiful faces, and I hope that you will gather up some likes and step over that subscribe button. And I've used both of them, and I still have to do comment and share. So you can split your way over to sharing this video with a friend. And what does that leave me with? Comment? Is that the last one? Comment, like, comment, subscribe. No, I gotta share. I forgot which ones I did. I need coffee, even though I don't drink coffee. Is there a 5 Hour Energy around here somewhere? There's definitely a liquor store on the corner. I meant for 5 Hour Energies, not for alcohol, in case that came along incorrectly since I said liquor store. A 7-Eleven. They also sell liquor though, don't they? Or is it just beer? This is a children's show. Why am I having this conversation with you guys? I'm going home, guys. I'm done. I'm out. By home, I mean this tiny office that they made me do computer work in the back.